Amid the hustle and bustle of life, neighbors are not only people living in the same neighborhood, but also factors that deeply influence our soul and character. Living close to someone, interacting with them, gradually we will reflect part of them within ourselves. The ancients said, being close to fragrance makes one know virtue, meaning living near someone makes it easy to be influenced by that person's conduct and behavior. Like fire near straw, just a slight push and the whole yard bursts into flames. There are small mistakes in neighborly relationships, whether unintentional or careless, that can lead to unexpected consequences. From silent avoidance to bitter conflicts, even extending to lawsuits. Modern society may be prosperous, but traditional values of neighborly affection still hold their role. The wise live near the honorable, avoid the petty, and keep themselves at peace in this outside world. Therefore, alongside kindness and civility, maintaining harmonious relations with neighbors is also an art of wisdom and serenity. In today's video, Tree Chew and Lack channel will explore with you 7 things that must absolutely be avoided when living next to neighbors. The lessons distilled through thousands of years remain very urgent for life today. Each thing today is not just theory, but a practical and inspiring reminder. If you have ever gone through friction with neighbors or are interested in keeping harmony where you live, you will find many meaningful things in this video. Please share your experiences in the comments. Sometimes just one of your stories can help others realize what they need to change. And now let us, your companion on the journey back to Tree Chew and Lack wisdom, explore 7 taboos to help you live close, yet remain peaceful at heart. The first, never ignore when neighbors need help. In daily life, there will be times when neighbors encounter difficulties, a sudden fever at night, a call for help when the yard is flooded, or simply a heavy bag in the hands of an elderly person. Yet many of us are too used to saying, everyone minds their own business, thinking whether to help or not makes no difference. But the truth is, a small action at that time can sow a long-lasting goodwill, and conversely, cold indifference can be the hidden cause of a dividing wall. The ancients said, neighbors share fire and light. It is no coincidence that this saying has been passed down through generations. It is not only about kindness, but also about how people protect themselves in a complex society. Imagine one day you yourself encounter trouble, a stuck door lock, a sudden pain at midnight. At that moment, the most precious thing is not money, but a knock on the door with concern from the person next door. And such help only comes from someone who once received kindness from you. Kindness costs nothing but can preserve much. A sincere affection, a trust, a peace of mind in an increasingly cold city. Therefore, do not ignore when neighbors need you. A greeting, a caring look, sometimes is the key to open a lifelong, lasting relationship. The second, avoid comparing, competing, and rivaling with neighbors. There is a truth few people speak about, but quietly exists in daily life: the jealousy between those who live next to each other. Seeing the neighbor buy a new car, one's heart stirs. Hearing neighbors boast their child has just entered a prestigious university, one feels a little uneasy. Some find ways to match them, others make disparaging remarks to belittle. Such actions may be small, but are the root of insecurity and conflict. The ancients said, if someone is better than us, learn. If someone is worse, be tolerant. Yet nowadays, many choose the opposite. Better ones they envy, worse ones they disdain. The irony is, rivalry does not improve us. It only narrows our hearts. Every time you look at neighbors with envy, you are placing a stone on your own heart. But when you know how to rejoice in their achievements, you open your heart to peace. Jealousy is like poison poured into a well, thinking it only muddies others' water, but in fact poisoning yourself. Those who live in rivalry will never feel enough and therefore never be happy. So instead of competing, learn to give blessings. Seeing others build a beautiful house, smile and think, if they can, I too will try. Hearing their children succeed, send congratulations. Your child is wonderful, you must be so proud. That is not only a beautiful way of life, but also a way to nurture goodness, something that makes your life gentler and more benevolent each day. The third, do not casually pry into neighbors' private lives. Living close, knowing about each other is understandable, but knowing does not mean having the right to gossip, much less a license to examine others' private matters. Some, with a little free time, pay attention to who visits next door, at what time the door closes, whether their children study or play, how the wife dresses. The more they know, the more valuable they feel, then turn neighbors' matters into topics for tea time gossip. Yet remember one thing, words without legs can still run around the neighborhood, and every step leaves a wound. A careless remark today can be the cause of long-lasting discord. A rumor today can make someone live under pressure, sorrow, and gradually withdraw. The ancients taught, disaster comes from the mouth, blessing comes from the heart. The wise, when hearing about others, often remain silent, not because they do, not know, but because they understand silence is protection for both sides. Therefore, if you accidentally hear something about neighbors, keep it in your heart like a person of virtue. If the truth is unclear, do not rush to speak. If it helps nothing, do not add. Because a malicious word can hurt, but a kind silence can preserve a whole relationship. The fourth, do not show off excessively to make neighbors uncomfortable. Each of us has the right to live better, buy more, renovate our home more beautifully. But that improvement, if flaunted too much, unintentionally becomes a sharp knife pointed at others. Some, after improving a little, blast loud music and party endlessly. Some, after buying a new car, deliberately park it in front of neighbors' gates so everyone sees. Some constantly boast of children abroad, of salary, of million-dollar watches, as if without boasting, no one would know they are successful. Unfortunately, showing off does not make us respected. It only makes others distant. Excessive display makes those around feel compared, inferior, hurt, even if they do not say it. The ancients taught, wealth and honor must not lead to arrogance, meaning having wealth and fame, yet still keeping humility and simplicity. Because the root of peace is not in what you own, but in the lightness in others' hearts when they think of you. Living in community, know how to temper joy and share moderately. Let kindness and sincerity speak louder than property or status. For in the end, the most beloved person is not the richest, but the one who makes others feel most comfortable. The fifth, avoid causing noise that affects the common peace. Quiet is not a luxury, but an essential spiritual need in every home. Yet many people unintentionally turn shared space into disturbance with seemingly harmless actions. Loud karaoke at midnight, quarrels echoing through the alley, drilling and cutting all weekend. It may seem minor, but to those resting, the elderly needing calm, children studying, it is a nameless annoyance. A considerate person is not one who never enjoys, but one who knows the limit so as not to cross into others' discomfort. Neighborly harm is not always from words, but sometimes from the very noises we ignore. In Buddha's precepts, body, speech, and mind all must be kept pure. A cultivated person not only speaks gently, but also knows to respect others' silence. So if today you want to play music, look at the clock. If you want to renovate, give prior notice. If children play loudly, remind them kindly. Such small things, done with goodwill, keep peace for the whole neighborhood. Remember, those who sow noise will receive fatigue. Those who preserve quiet will spread peace. The sixth, do not take advantage of neighbors' kindness. Neighbors cherish each other because of affection, yet sometimes closeness easily crosses boundaries unknowingly. One time borrowing money without repaying on time. One time asking to watch the house but neglecting to thank. Such small things over time chill hearts. Some use familiarity as an excuse to borrow and forget. Some ask small favors that drag endlessly. Some freely use others' items without ever thinking of gratitude. People may help once or twice, but if feeling exploited, they quietly withdraw. Not saying a word, but their hearts no longer the same. Buddha taught knowing enough is richness. Every relationship needs mutual respect. Neighbors help not because they are abundant, but because they cherish and trust. Once trust is lost, even houses sharing a wall are hearts 1,000 miles apart. So do not turn neighbors' kindness into unpaid debts. If they help, find a chance to return, not materially, just with respect. If If unable to help, say thank you, small words that preserve great affection, because kind people may not expect repayment, but they always recognize sincerity. The seventh, absolutely do not create hostility and sow division in the neighborhood. In every street, every village, peace comes not only from fences and walls, but from trust and kindness among people. Yet some make hostility their amusement. Seeing two families close, they drop hints. Seeing someone better than others, they inflate small matters into conflicts. Sometimes just a casual remark is enough to make the whole neighborhood wary and distant. Those who sow division, though not directly committing evil, erode peace from within the community. And the most frightening thing is once suspicion forms, it is hard to mend even with 100 apologies. Buddha taught words are like arrows once released, impossible to retrieve. The cultivated know, preserving harmony where they live, is protecting the spiritual environment for themselves and their family. If unable to build bridges, do not destroy. If unable to love, at least keep silent. Neighbors need not be too close, but must keep the limits of kindness. Remember, those who sow evil reap unrest. Those who nurture harmony live in long-lasting peace. Ladies and gentlemen, living in this world, no one is an isolated island. We live among people. Therefore, every action, word, and attitude can be a seed of goodness or a sprout of affliction. The 7 things today may sound small, but if anyone keeps them, their hearts will be at peace, their homes tranquil, their neighborhoods harmonious. If you find today's sharing useful, do not forget to leave a comment or simply share it with a dear neighbor of yours. Treat you and Lap Channel sincerely thanks you for listening. May you and your loved ones live an ordinary life while still keeping peace in your hearts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the next amazing video.